A very warm greetings to sir. We group number 2 would like to present on Central Bank of our country. Central Bank is the apex institution of the country's monetary system. Royal Monetary Authority was established in year 1982 with the enactment of RMA Act 1982 on 4th August by the 56th session of the National Assembly. There are several functions of the central bank. Some of the functions are number 1, currency authority. The central bank has the sole monopoly to issue currency notes. Commercial bank cannot issue currency notes. Currency notes issued by the central bank are the legal tender money. Here legal tender money is one in which every individual is bound to accept by law in exchange for goods and services in discharge of debt. Number 2, banker, agent, and advisor to the government. As a banker to the government, the central bank performs same function as performed by the commercial banks to their customers. It receives deposit from the government and collects checks and drafts deposited in the government account. It also provides the cash to government as resumed for the payment of salaries and wages to their staff. As a fiscal agent, it also manages the public debts. It collects their taxes and other payments on behalf of the government. It also represents the government in international financial institutions such as World Bank. As an advisor, it gives advice to government on the financial and economic matters such as deficit financing, devaluation of currency, and foreign exchange policy. Lastly, it acts as a banker's bank. Central bank act as a bankers to the bank in three ways. So, due to interest of time, I will only explain two. Number one, as a custodian of the cash reserve of the commercial bank, central bank maintains the cash reserve of the commercial bank. Every commercial bank keep a certain percent of the reserve with central bank by law. Number two, as a lender of the last resort. As a banker to the bank, the central bank act as the lender of the last resort. If the commercial bank fails to meet their financial requirement from other sources, then uh, they can act as a last resort and they can approach the central bank for the loans and advances.
Hello everyone, I'm Shoki Zangmo bearing enrollment number 033 and I will present on the regulatory obligations of RMA. The Royal Monetary Authority of Bhutan is the central bank of Bhutan and it has several regulatory obligations aimed at maintaining the stability of financial systems and promoting economic growth. And these are the some of the key regulatory obligations of RMA. Point number 1, formulating and implementing monetary authority policy. The RMA is responsible for formulating and implementing monetary policy in Bhutan, and its main objective is to maintain price stability while promoting economic growth. And in order to achieve this, the RMA regulates the money supply in the economic and set interest rate. And point number 2, regulating banks and financial institutions. The RMA is responsible for regulating banks and financial institutions in Bhutan and also set rules and guidelines for licensing, operations and supervisions of banks and financial institutions to ensure that they operate in a safe and sound manner. And point number 3, issuing and managing currency. The RMA is responsible for issuing and managing currency in Bhutan and it ensures that there is an adequate supply of currency in circulations to meet the needs of economy while maintaining its stability. And point number 4, conducting economic research and analysis. The RMA conduct economic research and analysis to provide insight into country economic performance and to inform its policy decisions, and it also publish report and data on the state of economy, which include inflation, employment, and economic growth. And point number 5, promoting financial inclusion. The RME is committed to promoting financial inclusion in Bhutan, and it has implemented several initiatives aimed at increasing access to financial service for all the Bhutanese citizens, which include those in rural areas. And these are some of the key regulatory obligations of RMA, which are aimed at maintaining the stability of the financial system and promoting economic growth. Thank you.
Good example, I am Chiki Gelson, bearing enrollment number 018, and today I am going to present on the sources of fund for the central bank. Central bank generate revenue to several sources including interest income, foreign currency reserve, trading operation, and fees and commission. To go on with number 1, central bank earn interest income from the loans they make to the commercial bank and other financial institutions. Central bank typically lends money to this institution at a higher interest rate rather than rate which they borrowed from the bank. And number 2 is foreign currency reserve. Central bank holds foreign currency reserve as the means of stabilizing their domestic currency and protecting against economic shocks. This reserve may generate income through investment in foreign government bonds and other financial institutions. And number 3 is trade operation. Central bank engage in trade operation to manage their foreign currency reserve or to influence the value of domestic currency. Profit from this trading operation can generate revenue from central bank. The last one is fees and commission. Central bank may also generate revenue through fees and commission charged for various services provided to financial institutions such as clearing and central settlement service or management of payment system. It is important to note that central banks are primarily focused on promoting monetary stability and controlling inflation rather than generating profit. Revenue generated by central bank is typically used to fund its operation and maintain adequate reserve to ensure financial stability. Thank you.
Good morning, my name is Chiki Zoom, bearing enrollment number 019, and I will be winding up our presentation with the types of problem being solved by RME, that is the Central Bank of Bhutan. Number 1, overflow of money supply. If a nation's economy were a human body, then its heart would be the central bank, that is RME, and just as the heart works to pump life-giving blood throughout the body, the central bank pumps money into the economy to keep it healthy and growing. So RME, that is the Central Bank of Bhutan, will solve the problem of overflow of money supply in an economy, and it will also solve the problem of inflation in the economy. Number 2, transition of currency with other countries. Central banks helps to solve the problem of transition of currency between international country, that is, they manage currency by issuing new currency and managing foreign currency reserve. So the Central Bank of Bhutan will help to have a smooth transition between different countries. Number 3, higher interest rate. The RMA of Bhutan provides the nation with a safe, flexible, and stable monetary and financial system by maintaining a minimum and maximum interest rate. As RMA is a regulator of bank, they set certain interest rate in saving, borrowing, or lending, etc. Number 4, money supply shortage. RME solved the problem of money supply shortage of banks in Bhutan. That is, as RME is the lender's last resort, they will provide money to the banks to meet their needs in times of crisis or emergency. Thank you.